Hi there, I'm Darren with Everglades Rhythm, and today we're going to talk about an incredible little box on the guitar that often gets overlooked. I call it the money zone because it's where one of the best riffs of all time is played.
So be.
It's that right there, that gut bucket kind of Mark Knopfler sound. Such a cool riff, but you can really learn a lot from playing in that zone. Once I show you this position, you'll see it's really a powerful tool. So first of all, let's start in the key of G. So I'm not going to teach that, I'm going to show you under the hood of that. And the first thing to know is that's played in the second position of the minor pentatonic scale. So if you're in the key of G, pattern 1 is right here, right? And then pattern 2 is right above that, and it's right here. So the whole pattern will go like this. So that's a great pattern to learn, but the little area that we're looking at is right here. So it's that little area right there. When you're playing in that area, it creates a totally different sound from playing in pattern 1. When you're playing in pattern 1, here's your root, and you're always kind of pushing up to your root. A lot of the licks are played with the third finger and pushing up, but when you're playing in this pattern here, you're kind of pushing off of the root right here. It just has a really, really fantastic sound. Okay, next, one of the other things about this is all the time when you're playing guitar, you don't just want to stick with learning a scale or a pattern. You want to look at how that kind of cross-references with a chord. And basically, this is based around, this pattern fits perfectly with this power chord here. Now, that is, if you look at it from a cage system or kind of the music theory behind it, pattern 2 is associated with the D form, right? So it's like this. The D form power chord is where you start on the 4th string with the root right there. So when you think about it, that style of playing that Mark Knopfler's doing, it's just like if you've ever heard any of the kind of like drop D style, kind of swampy kind of blues songs, you know. It's got that kind of sound. That's all he's doing, right? But he's moved that up and he's kind of barring across here. So if you take that D shape and you just move it up, it'll be like this. You can move it around wherever you want. So right there it'll be an F. Go up here, it's a G, which is where he plays it. You know, or say if you want to go up different key of A, for example, just move it right up here to the 7th fret. It's right there under your fingertips. So remember, in blues and rock music, the third is ambiguous. I call it the nomadic third because the third kind of wanders around, right? You can play major thirds or minor thirds. So basically, it's best to kind of think, when you're playing rock music, think of the chords as power chords first, you know, and then you can play around with that major or minor third if it's kind of a blues tonality. So, for example, if you're playing the minor version, it would be like this. But if you're playing the major version, it would be like this. So just when you put together the power chord, and then you add that to the minor pentatonic pattern 2, it's a recipe for some really cool sounding licks. And if you think about it, that lick there that he's playing, it's really just a minor pentatonic riff pedaled off the root note here. So if you got, there you go, say if we're in the key of A, there's your root note. And you can create all kinds of cool licks like that. But here's where it gets really cool. There's some really amazing harmonic devices you can use. I mean, you can hear him. You can hear when he's playing, just these killer, the way the notes are kind of rubbing and running into each other.
Whole thing. It's just to do with the picking.
So some of my favorite licks are right here in this position, because you can play these double stops that you can't really play in pattern 1 that just have a fantastic sound. So he starts with 1 there, that kind of, so that little hammer on there, which is from the 4th to the 5th. It's very powerful, right? And then you can build on that. You can do a chromatic version of that where you slide in, which has a really awesome sound. These almost kind of start to sound like a Hammond organ licks. Or you can do the same thing but an octave higher, where you add in the octave here. Or this one here, where you do that kind of dominant 7 sound, which he does. That little sound right there, that double stop, where you're 1 fret apart. That's one of the staples of rock music. So you can do little runs with that, like for example going. You can hammer on to that as well. That's a great sound, I love that sound. Play those reverse power chords. And then sliding that shape up. I love that lick. That works on so many songs. If you just go slide in to the octave there, and then right above the money zone is the Albert box, which is part. That's the upper part of pattern 2, which is like. So you combine the Albert box and the money zone, and all of a sudden you've got, you know, all these cool sounds. The guitar's full of these little zones like that, like the BB zone up here, and Elmore James zone, and blues boxes. These little zones that you can play some really killer licks if you kind of dive in. And even when you're playing just basic runs on that scale, it has a different sound. Because where you do the pull-offs and the hammers, it's got a different sound. But yeah, so remember, when you're playing pentatonic licks, the actual basic pattern, that's just the starting place. And that's just really like a hand position. And then around that, you can create all these cool licks by sliding, bending, you know, using different techniques, and then moving outside of that box to create more colorful and interesting sounds. You know, like going. Right there in that money zone. I go up into the Albert box a little bit. Then walk down the scale. But it's all right there. I love that sound. So hopefully you'll have some fun with this, and let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorite zones and boxes are on the guitar, and if you've heard any good songs that use this kind of sound. And if you've enjoyed this video, give us a like and a subscribe. Love to hear from you. And remember, turn it up.